Howdy, folks. Welcome back. So today I'm going to talk about tidy data. And what does it mean to have tidy data? This will be kind of the whole theme of this module. I'll at least expose you to some of the tools. I won't be able to cover everything, but hopefully it'll just give you a sense of what is out there. Because there's a lot. And I do not claim to know all of it. So, let's begin with tidy data. So, this is kind of a well-trodden trope, but it's apt, it's Tolstoy. So, happy families are all alike, but every unhappy family is unhappy in its own way. This applies to many things in life, including data. So, nice, clean, tidy data are the same for the most part. Well, messy data, what you will spend most of your stress and agony over, and is messy data are messy in their own unique ways. You'll notice that later in this module I have a little bit of a spiel, not really a spiel, but an optional deep dive in data formats, because I found that it is incredibly helpful to remind me of how much worse it could be. Because the data that we tend to wrangle with today, sure, it's a little messy, but it's already, at least in text form, it's already digitized in a way that we can start to work with. So that's one reason why we might go on a little bit of a history binge, because I find it helpful to remind us where we've come. It usually helps my mood, to be honest, when I'm struggling with R. So, for tidy data, here are the general characteristics. Each variable has its own column, and each observation forms a row. And each type of observational unit forms a table. These are the 3 key characteristics of tidy data. And in terms of untidy data, anything goes. I have worked with data that are just strings of text, magnetic tapes, punch cards, qualitative, handwritten notes, and it takes a long time to get familiar with what is happening in the data. So characteristics. Untidy data are, I can't even articulate how all the frustrations that come with getting tidy data to look kind of tidy. That is where you will spend most of your R time with coding. It's not in the modeling, it's not in the analysis, it's in the data management. So, for example, here is Army Air Force statistics. In a nice table. It's data, but it's not tidy. Why is it not tidy? That, dear viewer, is for you to stare at this data and come up with an answer for me. I will tell you if you are correct or not, but I will leave it as an exercise for you to do. Specifically, I may put in some more entertaining ukulele music so that I'll give you something to look at. But I will tell you, this data is not tidy. Also, it is just a picture. It's a screen cap. So that has an extra layer in there. It's not digitized. How about this data? How's it not tidy? We can see here it's a screenshot from an Excel spreadsheet. It's from the Gapminder data, and it's estimated HIV prevalence among 15 to 49-year-olds. I'll let you stare at this for a bit. We'll do the same. I'll see if I can implement a timer or a countdown or something. I have to learn how to do that. But that's so that you can kind of stare at and think about this data and how it is not tidy. And if you want to take it a step further, think about how you would go about tidying it. How about this data? It's from the U.S. Census Fact Finder. You can literally look at these on the U.S. Census data set, like data. It's just describing general economic characteristics. It's from the 2007 edition of the, I think it's American Community Survey. It might be Annual Community Survey. I'm trying to remember what the acronym is. But this data is also not tidy. How? How is it untidy? So, this did not work. Okay, let's go dive into R and fix this. What happened? All right, pull left. Should work. Let's see. Okay, got pull left here. Oh, my bad. I forgot a brace. Cool. Okay, let's go back. Tools. Tools. View. Panes. Zoom viewer. Okay, welcome back, because we went so far. But while I am, there's my drink. It's been hiding. And just to be clear, I am not sponsored by Monster. But social media people, I would totally take sponsorship at the rate I'm going through this stuff. But that's more about me. Okay, so here I have illustrated the difference between displaying and summarizing data. Displaying data is just reproducing your data and showing it to others, while summarizing is the process of actually distilling that information in a way that conveys the general characteristics. Here, on this side, right here, yeah, I'm not going to use right and left because I might end up getting this flipped. So we have a tibble. It's just a 3x2, where we've broken down average height by gender. We've summarized the data. We haven't exposed all of it, but we've tried to give the key ideas. And here's the code. You'll notice that for Star Wars here, for the display, all we've done is selected 3 variables to just spit out. Versus here in Star Wars, we've grouped our data by gender and then applied the summarize function to that grouped Star Wars data by gender where we've taken the average height by group. We've processed the data. And so that is it for our first little dive into this module. So I'll see you in a bit. Bye.